Welcome to our next tutorial of Mesh Surface for SOLIDWORKS. In the last tutorial we created our first faces, we managed to place them on the mesh, and we've understood what is the display options for. So now we can continue building our models. As I said, we probably want to just create a stripe here that will follow the surface, and I'll just use my duplicate button here. When I drop my mouse, you see that it's snapped to the mesh, and you can tweak and adjust your shape. We'll just move here. As you see, because of the mesh is not transparent, when I move, it's behind the mesh, so you can just play with the transparency to see your results. And this is how I create my strip. You see how easy it is. You just drag and drop your edge here, and it snaps to the mesh. I would like to say that during this process at the moment I will just model the half of it, and then I will use the symmetry command to be able to actually just mirror the half of the part, and this will be my reconstructed model. So here I have my shape so far. I will probably want to create another one on the top. The way I can do this is just create a four-sided face. So let's put this view in the, okay, this is what SOLIDWORKS does. I will just Control Z, and I will just put this into the top view. So we'll rotate slightly, and this is where I will start my next stripe here. I will just click and create my four-sided face. So it's snapped to the mesh, and I will just continue. What I'm doing now, I'm trying to keep the same roughly aligned edges. The reason for this is that we need to have a good continuity after that, so you need to think a little bit of the UV direction. So here is what I will build, and it's quite simple. We'll come to this position, and now it's your choice how you can connect these. You can just take this and merge, or you can use the merge command, or you can probably take the Alt key and join these edges here. In this case I will just use my Alt key, will duplicate these boundary points to be able to create this. Again, the big point about our solution is that it snaps to the mesh automatically, because this snap mode is on, and this is how you can reconstruct. So far, this is what we created. It's really nice and smooth, and now I can probably take this one and snap it here, because this looks logically to me. As you see, the software automatically closed this area. Now when I have this surface, I can just, when I'm done, I can just press OK, and everything will be created as a SOLIDWORKS entity. Here I will just hide my mesh, and you can see the result of what I have reconstructed so far. I would like to say about the snapping mode that now, because I have my mesh hidden, if I go back and edit the feature, it recognizes that there is no reference mesh, so the snapping mode is off. This would mean that now if you move in space, you just go back to this manipulator mode. And this is not what I want. I still want to be using the mesh, so what I need to do is just show my reference mesh, and then I right click on my quad surface and go to edit. What happened now is that actually I displaced this and it's not on the mesh, so I probably need to move. If something happens and you turn on and off the snapping mode, which is possible, for example, I can just turn this off and select this, and then with the manipulator I can just drag outside of the mesh. This is also possible, so you can adjust something that it's not belonging to the mesh. you can always switch between the snapping mode and the manipulator mode. A bit more about the manipulator here is that there are three options here. One is which is called the world coordinate system. That means that your manipulator will be aligned to the world coordinate system. But the other option is that you can align it to the screen. So this means that whatever I do on the screen, as you can see, the manipulator always stays in the same orientation. This can be quite useful. The third option, which you can use in some cases, is what is called the local. What local means is that if I pick a point, you can see that the blue arrow, which is the z-axis, is actually perpendicular to the surface. This can be useful in some cases that you want to get inner or outer of the mesh and make a fine adjustments. We cannot guarantee where the x and y directions are. They're kind of arbitrary in space, so the biggest power of this local orientation is actually the z direction, which is the blue arrow. If I just turn this snapping on, I may want to get everything projected back to the mesh. In this case, there is a command which is called snap to mesh. If I press snap to mesh, it will take the selected element and it will project it on the mesh. That's why you saw that this didn't go on the mesh. But if there is nothing selected, if I press snap to mesh, all the points will be projected to the mesh. So this is powerful, but at the same time dangerous if you don't have selection to project everything, if you have some noises. So use this carefully. That's all for this tutorial, and we'll continue with the next one. Thank you for watching.